So, it's come to this, where no one needs to worry, really. I don't. Maybe certain people might be concerned, but it's got past that now, for them, that enough information has been collected in order to prove a point, I guess. Prove something. And I do kind of like, I'm glad I'm not in the same boots, or not in the boots of certain people out there, because they're going to have their lives very much, or what they thought they had, pretty much dissolve when this comes about, which it will. Everything's been put in place. Don't worry, people. I'm not going to fuck up. I can't. Even if I tried. It's funny that, isn't it? Anyway, guess where I am again. Look. It's me. And I thought I'd take a bit of time out, and let's go past it. I knew it was close to that anyway. It's close to 11 minutes past 11 anyway. But never mind. Yeah, it's 13 minutes past. Even worse. Right, so all these silly videos that I've been doing, yeah? People, I've got to understand that they were intentional. In whatever way you may like to think about that, they were intentional. As like, they're meant to be funny, as well as quite, put it this way, the people who are under question either don't watch them, or when they will be forced to watch them, they will cave in. They will cave in. They will be like, they will not want to watch. Not because of me being funny, but because they've trapped themselves. The realization of that is quite profound, right? People don't realize, I'm talking about general everyday people, don't worry, it's alright. But people who should have paid attention, who purposefully didn't, who purposefully misled, is even worse. And I've got all the info on you, and it's pretty step by step, you get your mind blown all the time in these realms of finding this stuff out. And it's not like what people find out on conspiracy stories and stuff like that. It's not. This is something quite different, as I've said all along. And the people in question are not necessarily anything to do with these people, but they've paid the price, or accepted the price of going along with it, and hindering the whole process in knowing that they're doing that. And plus, certain piss takers will dangle a carrot, talk about things that I've talked about in order to get followers and stuff like that, make it look like it's all them coming to these conclusions. Now look, I'm not going to say I did this first, right? Because it's bloody hell well apparent that I did. Right? And they are so imbued with egotism, narcissistic behaviors, which show them up very much so. Now this is like a precursor to what will come out. You know, much like the Illuminati tell people what's going to happen before they do it. Well, and kind of get their go-ahead type of thing. It's all gone very flimsy, I've got to say. Well, I will do that as well. So I'm kind of like letting people know, those who should be quite aware at what is going to happen. Right? Doesn't matter where you're from in the world. Does not matter a thing. What will go down now with my website, which won't go down, by the way, because it's mirrored. If it does go down, it'll even get more. It'll get shown even more. How about that? What will go down really to demonstrate what I've been on about? Like I said, I've probed people, and all along the way, they've tripped up lots of times. Now, I don't trip up, right? I don't. I might like tripping, but I don't trip up. I'm not tripping at the moment. Doesn't matter if I was or wasn't, really. But just to let you know, innit? That's to prepare, basically, for what will come on top. Because I've documented every single interaction between me and other named people. Right? Yeah? Named people. And what they do and say. Now, when I read back on these interactions, I've got to say, it wasn't immediately apparent to me that this is going on. But it will when it's put on a silver platter, gold platter, why not? For people to see. And it'll be undeniable, like I said in a previous video. And by the way, I will link to these videos, which are on BitChute. You've got to work through quite a lot there, though, and gotta say, it's a mess, isn't it? It's a mess, all those films. But it was done that way, purposefully, because the controllers do not know what to do. They simply don't. Left them in tatters. Because what is actually gone down is going to be historical. You have to know this, people. And that's no bigging myself up or anything like that. It's historical, this. If not, I was going to say biblical then, but like it's even surpassed that. Notion. It's incredible how shit it is, how crap the whole thing is that keeps people in this state of mind. And there are, like I said, perpetrators, and there's spooks, and there's people who get paid just to keep up the illusion. And that, what they may say is, might be the truth, might be close to the truth, might be they're halfway there. After all, some of these people are, or seem to be, presented to the public as normal people. This is very deceptive. And there's going to be quite a lot of people, name-wise, feeling very uneasy, not threatened, because what they've done is tragedy to themselves. They've really shown themselves up. And I didn't do it. Nothing to do it. Right? Gotta be around, innit? So, I really can't believe that, though. Scared people. Now, are people out there to, I mean, I know I'm shadow banned, yeah, but are people out there to, what's the word? It's not thick, is it? It's not even stupid. It's just, like I said, I don't know the word. How they didn't see this, and how they thought that this wasn't going to happen. And I realised why people, certain people, kept me at a distance, right? When I was like trying to contact them. I know why. Now, if they knew the reason why, because obviously they've been told some things, but there's no other reason why they would be so unwelcoming in snidey, sneaky ways, of course, yeah. So yeah, all interactions between people, everyone, including Andrew, including John, and also the non-responsive people as well. And that pretty much includes everyone who I've contacted about this. And you still think I'm pissing about, don't you? And the reason why I'm so relaxed right now is because I know for a fact that you, yes, you, are all not quite going to hell, but not far off because of this. And so don't even try and think that you're doing anything good, even when you're talking about good stuff. Because something really needed to be addressed in this timeline, which I was on about all the while. The reason why I went mad, the reason why I went crazy at people. And of course, that's all that people look at now, isn't it? Me going mad. And it'll all come into fruition where, well, everything will be realised. Because I've already done it. I've done it for people to see. It's up to people to look, really, and listen more than anything. Because music does play a big part in this takedown. They try and mess it up with bringing in tulpi and entities and stuff like that just by mentioning them, that's fucked you up even more. Anyway, yeah, of course it has. It's goes to show, basically. And you still don't quite get what I'm on about, do you? So yeah, I would be worried if I was anyone on that chat. Anyone. All of them. Who would just carry on. But bear in mind, like, so, I mention names, of course I am, yeah. Why not? What are you going to do? Beat me up? So John Miller, John X Army, said, don't worry, most people are sound asleep on this forum anyway. Sound asleep. So you're safe there now. Okay? People don't realise these things, do they? They're like very sneaky ways of getting to a person, yeah? Now, either this person, John Miller, is either trained somewhat in these realms of psychological black operations, yeah? In what to say, or he's told things to say to me. It's so obvious, it is incredible. Because this cannot be passed off as plausible deniability. I realise that is their main get-out clause, plausible deniability, yeah? And with that in mind, I kind of played them, in a way, out of that point, where it cannot be put down to just PD, plausible deniability, right? It cannot be. Well, it's either that they're slightly in on it, as in getting paid money through donations and other things in order to keep this up. And all the while, kind of like taking the piss a bit. Because what I gave to this person, John, is, I mean, I could put it down to he's just an idiot, absolute idiot, and didn't bother looking at anything, which he kind of should have. I mean, but it just makes too much sense that obviously there's something going on behind the scenes here, yeah. So I've, of course, I documented all of this in writing, same as I did on the Ike forum, and that was deleted, wasn't it? The whole thing got deleted. And I noticed that there was nothing but like Scientologists on there. Shit, I said that word. Bum. That gets me shut a ban now, doesn't it? Oh no. And that these are people who are really crap. They're shit at like real psyops. They're really crap. They pay for this privilege and they think that they're fucking James Bond or something like that. And it's all there to take the piss, really, out of the real dealers. Guess who that might be. It's not me. Or might be. Just leave them guessing, innit? For you, because you've not even looked, have you? No one's looked at anything, or even paid attention to the music. And because I was like saying, look, it's not about me, it's not about the music or anything. Of course, that gives them the go-ahead just not to pay attention. But when they do, they realise how fucking hammered they are, and the fact that the rest of the world, as in normal, real people, are all looking at them and laughing laughing wholeheartedly at their folly. Because what has happened here is beyond most people's comprehension, but it will be comprehended because it's happened. And I noticed over years and years and years of doing this, much longer than John X. Armia, that people can comprehend things which were totally out of the ordinary, say, 5 years ago. There's no way I could have even, or anyone could mention it like this. But now, funny enough, it's all come to a closure. And that's, it's not just people's ignorance and arrogance. People are paid purposefully to do certain things to other people. And it's called a soft dagger. It's soft dagger. That's what it's called. Soft annihilation. Just totally trying their hardest to drive a person mental. And they did a damn good job, I gotta say. I mean, if it wasn't for my strong mental capabilities, I either would have committed suicide or I would be insane. Totally. I'm not insane at all, people. Really not. No matter what you think. And it can go about things quite well. Even now I'm kind of like teasing you a bit because making it look like I'm still fannying around a bit. What will shock you is what will be written, or what is written, by the way. And describing, well, no, I didn't write it, you wrote it. People out there wrote it, other people. To get themselves in trouble. I didn't do anything. You did it. You got yourselves in trouble, people. For either paying attention to someone else, not paying attention to me, or even worse, paying attention to me and then purposefully countering what I was saying. That's the worst one. That's the worst one. Purposefully doing it in such sneaky ways, though. And it's very visible for everyone to see when it's laid out right in front of them. And yes, this includes everyone. It's going to be a good year for me. And it's going to, well, just watching all you cringe and start flapping around like the fucking wussies that you are at what's being said, because you are you've really shown yourselves up so much, and the fact that other people don't care doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter. It's all going to go down in history as in a documentation for people to read if they want. And also, anything that you do to counter this, as in any troller, any email, anything, to counter this happening will only show you up even more, right? This has to be known, because like I said, I'm telling you what is going to happen. Okay? I'm ready. And other people will then see the absolute blatant piss take of what these people do to targeted people. They do target people. Yes, of course they do. And some of these people don't even know that they're doing it. They don't, because they get duped because they're so weak, yeah? Now, I look at the point where, where you think, now, is this person, as in John X Army, a total fucking retard? A total imbecile not to realise this? Because I give him loads and loads of films which are not online. They'll just have to read through, like my previous writings, what I've done. It all links up, see? Funny enough, it all links up to this moment. And did he, well, no, it's as if he just ignored it, yeah? I thought, well, fucking fair enough. I mean, I don't expect you to read it, but haven't I put enough out there that to prove that this is, like, kind of important type of thing? I mean, I need to say that I'm scaring people. And now, it wasn't like John X Army the one scaring people in the first place, was he? But everyone loved him. And these people, they do say the truth, as in, like, they tell it how it is. To some extent. It's so sneaky. Now, this guy's used many of the tactics, all the tactics that these so-called operatives or agents use. And these agents are people who have been brainwashed, so heavily brainwashed, and paid for it as well, so that enhances the strength of that brainwashing. 27 minutes, gosh. That it makes not want to give in. Now this fucks them up even more, see? It really does. And there's nothing that they can do now. Nothing. So yeah, let this be a little precursor, just for them to realise what is going to go down. And no, it's not a website, because it's mirrored, yeah? Right across the board. You'd have to just nuke the world to get rid of this shit, right? And funny enough, the controllers know this and they can't interfere with what's going on, because this is real deal, yeah? A lot not like anyone else that you've ever known, online or in physical, because no one else does this, that's why. Shall I stop now? Yeah, will do. I'll come back in a sec, well, in a bit. Enjoy the rest of my beer. Legs eased off a little bit. It's still nasty though. Still there, but I don't care, because this is what I do.